Hello, friends, and welcome. Today, I have for you an iconic fountain pen, an important fountain pen in the Parker history. Today, we are talking about the beautiful Parker 75. We will talk about the history and the context, the period in which the Parker 75 emerged and was launched by Parker. So, practically after the great success with the Parker 51, came an era of decline for the fountain pen, mostly because the ballpoints sold in greater and greater number. The response of the Parker Fountain Pen Company was to introduce to the market cheaper pens like the Parker 21, the Parker 41, and the Parker 45, which the later, the Parker 45, was introduced in the 1960s and becomes the Parker greater seller in the low-end priced area. The head of the Parker Company, the son of the founder of the company, George Parker, which was Kenneth Stafford Parker, wanted a new aesthetic fountain pen, an innovative product, um, uh, expensive, and in the same time a good writer. So it begins to work on this project with the designer Don Doman, who also designed the Parker 45 and the Parker 61. And they come up with this design in 1963. It had an interesting design from my point of view. The most interesting element of design is this design of the grip section. It's not a plain cylindrical grip section, and it allows you to grab the fountain pen in different position. With these striated parts, it gives you a nice grip on it. And this particular grip allowed the user to adjust the nibs to his hand. Also, a nice characteristic which is present not on this model but on the Sterling CL that hit the market in 1964 and had a very nice grid pattern, which was borrowed by Kenneth Parker from his pattern from his cigarette case made by a London silversmith. The pen was designed to be produced for 30 years and was the most popular model. This particular model, which I hold in my hand, it was made in France. It has a metallic body and cap. The metallic is lacquered in black, and the cap is gold plated. The production of the Parker 75 began in the USA and then shifted to France when the USA production was shut down. This particular model, it is a model made in the 1980s. I will show you some characteristic of the 1980s model. I've already shown you the beautiful design of the grip section. Unfortunately, in 1991, this section is redesigned, so these three sides became round. I don't know why they did this design change. And also this gold ring over here at the end of the grip section. was changed. Practically, they left a plastic section before the ring because this was prone to discoloration and corrosion by the amount of acid in the ink. So it's very simple. If you have a cylindrical grip section and it doesn't end in this gold ring but in a plastic ring, you have a version from 1991 till 1996 when the Parker 75 production was ceased and they left room for the new Parker Sonnet. Let's start with the cap. I've already told you it is a gold-plated cap. We have some imprints on the band. We have Parker. We have stamping and made in France and another Parker logo. It has this beautiful, beautiful lined pattern and the arrow, the beautiful arrow clip. You can see the point of the arrow and the feathers here. This is a recognizable clip, a beautiful, beautiful clip. At the end, we have this lined cylindrical part, you can see. And on top, we have like a jewel, but it's not a jewel, it's just a steel brushed round part. Interesting, interesting round part, beautiful part. And the same we have on the back of the barrel. You can see the same interesting metallic element, gold plated. The cap is friction fit. It fits quite nice. I've already discussed about the beautiful grip design. On this particular model, you can see that the band isn't affected from the action of the ink, but I think that they made the right decision replacing it in 1991. I don't know why they replaced the grip section because this is the most interesting part of the pen. This beautiful, beautiful Parker nib, this gold 18 karat nib. In France, you have a special law for a fountain pen to be called that it has a gold nib. It must be 18 karat 750 gold. You can see that there are some imprints. We have 750 and an M. Maybe it's the size of the nib. I don't know what the M stands for. And we continue with Parker. We have also France. We have another logo in a diamond shape and it has the arrow and PP. And we have also other stamps. I believe this is the stamp for gold, solid gold 18 karat. At the back of the nib, we have this grip, and interesting, it's an M on it, like this M here. I don't know if there's some connections between it, but certainly the grip, the M on the grip tells us that we have an M size nib. This particular fountain pen uses special ink cartridges and converters from the Parker. So if you have an international size cartridge, it won't work with this model. You need a special Parker cartridge. I see that we have an imprint over here. It's a G. I don't know what the G stands for. I don't like that this part is made out of plastic. They could have made it out of metal. This is my opinion. But of course we have the metal on the other part on the barrel. For the writing sample, as you can see, the ink cartridge was empty. We will fill it with the Parker Quink ink using a syringe. But till the writing sample, I want to show this fountain pen along with other fountain pens similar to it. So we have the Parker 75 lacquer with the black barrel. And next to it, we have a popular Italian fountain pen, the Aurora 888P. We have a German fountain pen, the MK30 from Pelikan. We have a Waterman CF from the 70s. And why not? We have a Mont Blanc 22 from the 1960s. And I also have a Mont Blanc from the 1970s, the 221. Look at them side by side. You can see they are quite similar fountain pens. Characteristics of the 70s and the 80s. I will leave the measurements of the Parker 75 on the screen, and after that we'll do a short writing sample. Welcome back to the writing sample. I will unscrew the barrel and take the cartridge. We'll have the Parker Quink ink. I will shake it. Okay. Open real quick. And the syringe is already prepared. Be careful when you use the needle. Okay, I will draw some ink. Not too much, but sufficient to fill this plastic cartridge. We insert the needle all the way in and we gently push. You can see that it fills the ink cartridge. Let's see, not too much. Okay. The excess we will put in the bottle. Okay. Now we gently insert the cartridge in, but firmly insert the cartridge in the pen. Now it is inserted, and we'll put it down. Let's be sure we don't have accidents with the ink bottle. So, you know the lesson from previous reviews. When you insert the cartridge, you need to let it reach gently the grip section and the nib section. It you can see it doesn't write. What I usually do when I have a cartridge, international size cartridge, I give them a little squeeze here. But the Parker cartridges are made of a thick plastic, so it's more difficult to give it a squeeze. And if I push it too hard, I'm afraid that I will crack the plastic and ruin the cartridge. I will try to make this work, and I will return. I will try to put some pressure on it. But if it doesn't work, I will simply dip in the ink the nib to let you see how this fountain pen works. Ideally, I want to make the cartridge work because it's more relevant for the writing sample. So please wait. and I will come back. So I tried and I tried, and as you see, it it will eventually write. It's still in the early stages, so it may skip. You can see it skips. I will try to push some more. Maybe you can see it comes from here, the ink. It has this interesting, this I want to show you. You can see that the ink comes from here. Very, very strange. The feed has the role to bring the ink to the nib. And this feed, I don't know if it's a design problem, but it appears that it brings the ink from here and not delivering it to the nib. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll try. We'll keep it try. I'm sorry this doesn't work. So what I'm going to do, I will dip it in the Parker bottle, and let's see how it works. I'm sorry that I couldn't make it let's clean. Okay, so we have, yes, a Parker 75. This is the Custom Black Laque model from the 1980s. It has a beautiful 18 karat 750 gold nib. It is a medium nib. And it is a cartridge, a ink cartridge, or an ink converter filler. Be careful, we will use only Parker cartridges and ink converters because they are proprietary. Okay, and we will try some line variations, but yes, we don't have ink. Let's dip it again. Let's try some line variations. Yes, it's not a flex nib, but you can see that, I hope you can see that, and here the smoothness of the nib. It simply glides on the paper. I'm sorry that I couldn't make the cartridge work, but I hope you've enjoyed my review with this beautiful Parker 75, an important model in the history of the Parker Pen Company. As always, I wish you to have a nice day. Thank you.